about how great you're doing. Could it be any better? Number one in the country.
Well,
This record.
I honestly, I don't really care. And I know it sounds weird, but we just watch film, and all I care about is I don't care about being number one in the country by rankings. I care about having number one in the country reps. I care about having number one in the country growth mindset. I care about having number one in the country competitive spirit. And really, that all doesn't matter unless it translates to that level of focus, passion, behavior, improvement. So, I want to be humble about it and go, we are in uncharted waters and we're doing things that no team in UCLA history has ever done. And I'm humbled and thankful, but they didn't hire me or want me to lead them to something in January or February.
What concerns you the most about your team?
I think two things. We need to take care of the ball better, more consistently, and we need to have better defensive rebounding. And I know that sounds crazy because we lead the Big Ten in almost every rebounding category, but a lot of teams aren't crashing, and so that's a little deceiving, and especially in our guard positions. Lauren covers a multitude of sins, and so we need everybody to step up in the way that we box out and the way that we take care of the ball. We're having too many empty possessions as a result.
Being in the new conference, does this change your approach or your attitude of physical play?
No, not at all. I just think that if you want to be, playing in Tampa, you better be the tougher, more together team. I don't care what conference you come from. We are just focused on getting tougher every day, being more physical, being the aggressors every day, and whoever we're playing against in whatever conference is just our next opponent to have a chance to work on that.
Coach,
yeah.
Can you talk about Lauren's intensity and tenacity and how it inspires her teammates as well?
Well, I think Lauren, there was a great piece at halftime of the Tennessee and South Carolina game on Lauren, and making a play for her to be, the number one player in the country this year. And I think the reason it's so huge is because of the way she impacts winning possession by possession in so many different ways. It's not just scoring. It's altering shots. It's blocking shots. It's being able to switch on multiple screens. It's people not even wanting to go in there because she's in there. The way she sets screens for other people, the way she does so many things that impact winning on both sides of the basketball. I do not think her impact can be understated or overstated. I mean, she's just, I don't know. I was looking at some statistics when I was watching film last night, and I'm not sure there's been a better, more impactful player in the country, regardless of position, in the last 5 games.
Is she kind of a throwback as opposed player?
I would say no, and the reason why I say that is that when you watch her in our offensive system, she gets out and handles the ball and gets in DHO situations. She switches screens 1 to 5. She's not someone who just sits in the paint. Her skill set is way beyond the traditional old school center position, and so I think she's not a throwback. She's a generational talent. Period.
I know last year it was kind of a struggle at times to get her the ball in the post.
Yeah.
This year, been much more consistent across the board. What do you think's been the biggest key there?
Well, really, she would credit her teammates. They had really taken pride in working on it. She talked about it in the press conference after the Maryland and Rutgers games, that she says, I'm just so appreciative of my teammates. I can see they're looking for me more. They're knowing how to pass it to her, both off the bounce and pick and roll situations, but also in traditional post feeds. But she said it first. Her teammates deserve a lot of credit because we ride them hard when they don't get her the ball in really good scoring positions. And also a credit to her, though. She's gotten better at sealing earlier. She's gotten better at setting and using screens so that those reads are not as difficult. She obviously, we have great talented guards, and she's really talented, but it's the execution and attention to detail that has really gotten better.
You've started Angela at that 4 spot pretty consistently.
Mm-hmm.
What has she done to secure that spot?
Well, I was talking to a donor yesterday, and he said, I'm not sure you have a more improved player. And I would agree with him. She has put in the work, not just on the court in terms of her statistics, her basketball IQ and understanding her role and how she's best, her emotional just sort of stability and mentality game by game. And that's why she's been in our starting lineup for the most consistently. And we have a lot of, I've said several times, we've got 8 starters. And that's not a cliche. That is a truth. If you watch, you guys are all here at our practices, you can see it, and And the reality for me, though, is that Angela has most consistently helped us get more winning possessions to start games. And so, it's a credit to the work she's put in. But I can say that about London Jones. I can say that about all of our returners. And I really got to credit my staff. I really do believe we have one of the best intentional player development programs in the country. And that is sacrificial and well-designed. And it's predominantly the credit goes to our assistant coaches.
What did you expect going into the Big Ten this year? And how have your expectations been met?
I think, I knew that with 18 teams, if you were talking about the Big Ten 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, I would have said, slow it down, very different kind of style of play than we're used to in the Pac-12 or even when I was in the ACC, very different. Now, I don't say that anymore. When you talk about, you go across all those teams, you've got full court pressing teams like, Ohio State that's really, that way. You've got real execution, fine-tuning teams like Nebraska. I mean, I could go through the list. There's varied styles of play, really high levels of individual and collective talent, and the coaches in this league challenge me to be better every time. So I'm really thrilled to be a part of the Big Ten, and they're predicting maybe 12 teams to get into the NCAA tournament. I'd say we're in a pretty good spot.
And then to go along with that, the travel and the challenges that go along with that, and
yeah. There's challenges to everything. There'd be a lot of challenges to not have a conference to go to right now, right? I think the reality is that college basketball and college athletics, it has changed. And do I miss some of the other parts? Was I sad to see some of them go? Yes, I was. But you know what? I want to be a great coach, and I want to continue to teach, mentor, and equip young people. And I get to be in the Big Ten. I get to be the most heavily resourced conference in the United States. What do I have to complain about? And I have an administration who has really stepped up in how we travel and giving us opportunities to, play against the best, compete with the best, and travel in a way that gives us an opportunity to perform at the highest levels. No complaints here.
It's been a month, I think, since you've played in this building. What have been the benefits of that kind of schedule over the last month for building mental toughness?
Well, I think there's no question we earned more toughness. You cannot give toughness. You cannot hope it into place. You have to go earn toughness. And you earn toughness by conquering hard things. You also earn confidence that way. And so I do think we've been forced to find that. And you need reference points of when you've had to do that and when you've collectively come together and you've not just made an individual toughness choice, we've made a collective toughness choice. And I think we've been forced to do some of that, and my hope is that we'll pack this place out and have a more friendly atmosphere, but that we'll carry that over into playing into Pauley.
Coach, can you talk just a little bit about the contributions of Lauren Betts?
Well, Lauren Betts is, I believe the most impactful player in the country right now. So she's tremendous. But I also give her teammates a lot of credit, like I said before, about how impactful she's being. It's a team thing. When Lauren is that, it's a credit to her individual talent, work ethic, and improvement, and it's a compliment to the team and how we know that we need to be built and built from the inside out to be successful. So really thankful for how Lauren has chosen to grow. She has great humility. She wants to be coached hard. She's grown a ton. But LA should come out and watch her. I mean, she is literally a talent that she's inspiring to young people. She's growing every time, and she has the character to be a great role model as well.
All the great ones have those qualities, don't they?
Well, I would argue so, yes. I believe that the great ones, it's not just about their performance, it's about their character. And we want to value both.
Coach, you guys have consistently been the bigger, taller team in a lot of
Yeah.
your matchups this year. How much, if at all, does your approach and preparation change for teams that do have bigger post players like the Ohio States and the Penn States?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we've been able to negate anybody that's even close to us from a size perspective. I think more than anything, what it needs to do is we need to hunt the paint and use all of our size, not just Lauren Betts. I think we have a mismatch with Janiyah Barker and Angela Dugalich almost every time. I love our post-up guards in Kendall Dudley and Gabriela Jaquez. And, you know, I think that we can use our length and height with more diversity and more variety than we're doing right now. Because, you know, I think we need to not, we get in trouble when we settle for contested twos early in the shot clock. And we can't fall in love. We are a better shooting team, but we still need to know how we're built. And we want to shoot those shots after the balls touch the paint and not just by Lauren Betts. Anybody else? I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
you.
Appreciate it.